Okay, so I don't know necessarily how much a review this can be called because it's only 5 episodes in at the time that I'm recording this, because they're releasing it on an odd schedule, which is part of why I was hesitant to check it out until it was already over. Like, I don't think every show needs to be a binge show, but the way that they were scheduling it out, clearly there's a contained story here to tell, so it felt like something maybe I should get to the end of to see where this is all going. Midway through, it feels like that might have been more the case, but I did want to jump on and say, yeah, I think this is pretty good. And also, I was both reticent and eager to check it out because we got this weird quote from the dude who I hadn't heard of before, who is playing Spider-Man or voicing Peter Parker in this, about how he was looking forward to the show, but he was worried it was going to be, quote, annoying and woke, which is a weird thing to say because, dude, you're 30. Why are you using fucking YouTuber words to talk about your job? But I guess this is now a thing that both of the cartoon Spider-Mans, I guess, are just dumb guys. Because I've seen the show, and, you know, annoying, eye of the beholders, but this is definitely whatever woke means. And I don't know, maybe he is just a dumb guy. He seems to be a dumb guy. Not casting any other aspersions on his politics or ideology or whatever. He seems to just be a dipshit. Because it strikes me that maybe I'm just old now, and woke has now permeated the discourse and language as the same way that dumb guys like myself, when I was a younger dumb guy, would throw around the term politically incorrect. Another stupid word that didn't mean anything back in the day to describe, you know, anything that was trying just a little too hard to be current. And this is, like, definitely that. So, for broader context, and again, I think the show's pretty cool overall. This was apparently at one point supposed to be, this is an animated, retro, but also retro-modern, neo-retro, whatever the fuck the words are, cel-shaded animated series that was at one point supposed to be, supposedly, the prequel to the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies in the MCU officially, and is now definitely not that. It's almost like an extended what if. Because your enjoyment of it really, really relies on, or at least a lot of the enjoyment of references really relies on you having already watched and absorbed a lot of other Spider-Man media, Spider-Man comics, Spider-Man movies, and being able to spot the parts that are references to comics, comic panels, movie events, movie dialogue, characters, etc., and saying, oh, they remixed it that way, oh, they remixed it that way. That's the scene from Spider-Man 3 where he sees the black suit in the glass, but now he's wearing this suit. Oh, that's sort of like the MCU Aunt May, but not entirely MCU Aunt May. Oh, that's like Mary Jane, but not Mary Jane. Oh, they've turned Lonnie into Flash Thompson, and Flash Thompson isn't here. Oh, they're doing Norman Osborn different, but not different. A perfect example, Coleman Domingo is playing the version of Norman Osborn here. May or may not at one point have supposed to have been the MCU Norman Osborn, and it really does, it's distinctly, recognizably a Coleman Domingo performance, but also it feels a lot like either he made this choice himself or someone was in his ear telling him, no, do it more like Willem Dafoe in the Sam Raimi movies. Maybe this is just that pop culture's reference point for Norman Osborn is only Willem Dafoe slightly hissing about being a scientist and being vaguely menacing as a mentor figure toward teenagers. That's just what Norman Osborn is as a character. And that's kind of cool. What also seems interesting is that I don't know at what point they decided that this wasn't the MCU prequel, because if it was, it may also have been the case that possibly eventually tying back into the Spider-Verse business in the animated movies was supposed to come in a lot sooner than I think people were expecting. Spoiler warning, the inciting incident for where the spider comes from, again, is an interdimensional spider coming out of a portal in the very first thing in the very first episode, which shows up because a version of Doctor Strange, the timeline for this lines up timeline-wise exactly with the Marvel movie Spider-Man otherwise, where Civil War is breaking out in the background, and in this universe it's Norman Osborn who recruits Peter into an internship and gives him his armored up Spider-Man stuff instead of Tony Stark. So that's the difference in the timeline here. But the spider, just like in the Spider-Verse movies, pops out of a portal while a version of Doctor Strange is fighting Venom. or a version of Venom, at least a symbiote, which is interesting. There's a lot of remixed Spider-Man characters in here as well. There's an origin story for Tombstone. There's new versions of the Scorpion. So far, faithful version of Otto Octavius. Doesn't seem to be Dr. Octopus yet, but it's probably coming. I really enjoy this. It's really cool. Nico Minoru's a character, and they're doing fun stuff with her. A lot of people seem to have an issue with the cel-shaded animation. I don't mind that look. It looks good in some spots, not good in others. It's energetic. The writing is solid. The voice acting is solid. The dumb guy, whoever this voice actor is, he may or may not be a dumb guy, but he's a good voice for Peter. We've seen Peter, the dejected nerd that nobody likes, in a bunch of other Spider-Man media, so in this one, his constant issue is that he keeps getting unexpectedly popular with people and pulled in different directions without being able to fulfill his obligations, which is an interesting new spin on the character. And yeah, I'm really into it. I think it's a good cartoon. I'm interested to see where it goes. The fact that they started with portals, interdimensional spiders, a lot of hey, it's similar to the other movies but different, leads me to believe that this is another thing that is going to end off on a, hey guys, get ready for Secret Wars because we way overestimated how much everyone was going to love the multiverse, so it's all going to tie into see you guys in the movies. But until then, I think this is a lot of fun and recommend people check it out. I'm not going to put a number rating on the end of it because it's not over, so who knows. Yeah, I'm down with it. This is good. Check it out.